So hopefully you should have had several documents shared with you on Monday of this week from your peer group. If you don't have all of the members' documents shared with you, please get in touch with me and let me know who is missing, who hasn't shared the document with you yet. Once you are ready to actually engage in the peer revision process, I want you to remember a few things. The first is that you should not be making any changes within the body of the document itself. All you should be doing is posting comments in there. To post a comment in Google Drive, you select the text that you want to comment on. Let's say I want to comment on to convey information, and you can click this little icon here to add a comment. Alternatively, you can also add a comment by clicking here. What you don't want to do is add a comment by clicking here. Up here, if you click on that and add a comment, it adds a comment to the entire document, but it's really easy to overlook that those comments are there. So please do try to comment only within the body of the text. When you're making comments over here on the side, obviously you type the information right here. When you're done, you can click comment. When you're making your comments, please do remember that I don't want you to comment on anything grammar related, spelling related, related to mechanics, related to how those sentences are structured, etc., etc., etc. This should be focused mostly on the grading criteria from the assignment sheet and specifically on trying to convey information to you, an audience member. I know that you might find those things distracting, but I'm sure that the other people in the class will catch those typos as they go along. I want to point out that those typos aren't being graded on. They're being graded on other things, and I really, really want you to focus on the things that they are being graded on, not those little nitpicky grammar mistakes and so forth. When you're trying to make a good comment, this would be a terrible comment here. This is my comment. No, that's terrible. Let's make this a much better comment. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure you're including 3 pieces in each comment that you make on your peer's paper. The first piece is what. So that should clearly convey to the writer of the paper what it is that you're making the comment on. So you can select the appropriate part that you want to comment on when you're making the comment, and you can point to it at the very beginning of the comment that you're making. So something like, as you can see in the text to the left. Something to that effect. I want you to clearly point out what you're referring to. You may be also just using that comment or the text that you selected as an anchor for a broader comment. So you might want to point out something like in this paragraph, or something else that makes it clear that you're not only referring to the text that's selected, but the entire paragraph that text comes from. Whatever you do, just make sure that you're making it very clear what is the thing that you're commenting on. Next, you want to make sure to clearly state how you want the thing to be changed. So we might say, in this paragraph, I am not entirely yet sure what subject you'll be focusing on. If you wanted to make this clearer, it would be helpful to put your main subject right up front in this paragraph or the next one. So now, if we have a comment something like that, it's very clear not only what the thing is that is concerning, but also we've been given a possible solution for it. We have one how. We have one how method of changing that thing. So I want you to make sure that you have the what in there and that you have the how in there. But I also want you to have a third piece as well, and that's a why. And that's why does this thing need to be changed? So in this case, we might say, this may improve your grade on the organization section of the grading criteria. Now, if you're struggling to get a what, why, and how, your comment is probably not a good one. You might continue to look through the rest of the paper and try to find other areas to comment instead. Specifically, if you don't have a method for improving it, if you have no how, then don't make the comment. But even more importantly than that, if you don't have any reason for why that should be changed, you don't have any why, don't make that comment in there. If there's no reason for it to be changed, then there's no reason to make the comment. I want to point out that as you start commenting in the document, you will see that your peers will be commenting in there as well. It's good for you to see their comments. I encourage you to reply directly to other comments if you'd like, to agree with the comment, to disagree with the comment, to add additional examples or additional methods for improving that section. All of those things are great. Feel free to respond to your peers' comments. You can also please look at the comments and make sure you're not just repeating the same things that your peers have already said. If you want to say the same thing that they've already said, please post it as a reply to the comment that they've made instead of making a bunch of new comments in there. But the reason that you're all commenting on the same document is because I want you to be in conversation with each other about this document. So please do feel free to reply. And finally, as you're going through and doing the peer revision, I'd like you to remember that there is a person on the other side of this screen. The person that wrote their space critique spent a lot of time on it and put a lot of effort into it. Please be kind and respectful of their words. Please try to phrase things in a polite way when you're giving their comments. And please do be encouraging. Even though you might be suggesting changes, you can do this in a constructive way. Please try not to tear down other students in the class. Ideally, the people that are reading your comments should come away from your comments feeling as though they're happy to make the improvements instead of feeling disheartened by what you've said. So please do try to keep that in mind as you're going through. If you have any questions about anything related to the peer revision, please do feel free to ask me in the questions forum in the course document section to the left.